Namaste, Coven. Welcome to the mat and welcome to this brand new flow. If you are new here today and have stumbled across me in the big wide world of YouTube, my name is Bethany and I am the Yogi Witch. Today's flow is a really special flow to me. It is not only a celebration of my brand new online yoga platform called the COVEN, where we come together from around the world to flow, to talk all things magical and just connect as an online community. But there's also a little bit of a thank you to all the brand new subscribers on my channel. I am so very nearly 10,000 subscribers, which is super exciting, especially for the kind of style of yoga that I do. As you can see, today's flow is entitled Yoga for Witches, and this is a practice that is very dear to my heart. When I talk about Yoga for Witches, I talk about finding that magic with a K through movement, about connecting with the elements around us, connecting with the world above, the world below, the world in between, and just kind of bringing in our spirituality to the mat. Now, this is a controversial topic. I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate in the comments, but that's fine. This is my personal practice, and this is something that is very dear to my heart. I've been a practicing witch now for nearly 6 years. I've studied it since I was in an undergraduate in university, and I have been a yoga teacher for a few years now, and this is something that really allows me to kind of find gratitude in the everyday, to really find and embrace my magic, my power, and allows me to explore my spiritual journey on the mat, off the mat. Ooh, let's get that fly out of the way. On the mat and off the mat. So this is something that's very dear to my heart, and if you are here today, then hopefully this is something that really resonates with you. So for today's practice, we're going to bring in all the elements, working with some fire, water, air and earth, and as always, waking the witch within. So when you're ready, Coven, get yourself set up, grab any incense, any sage, any candles, any crystals, anything that resonates that you crave for your witchcraft practice, and I will meet you back here in just a moment so we can flow to wake the witch. Okay, so to begin today's practice, you're going to come into a comfortable seated position on your mat, maybe sitting cross-legged like me, maybe with the legs extended. And all together, we're going to roll shoulders away from the ears. We're going to bring one hand to the heart, bring another to the belly. Opening our circle, opening this practice by all together taking a beautiful deep inhale and a beautiful slow exhale. And giving yourself a few moments just to concentrate on your breath, your inhales with your exhales. Now, if you work with sage or incense, you might choose to light yours now. If you don't have any nearby, that is absolutely fine. I'm going to light my sage, and I'm going to send this cleansing smoke all the way from my mat to yours, connecting us as an online coven, as an online community. And true to our Yoga for Witches practice, my little black cat Roanoke has joined us. Who thought it couldn't get more witchy? So sending this cleansing smoke all the way from my mat to yours. Bringing our mind to the mat, away from any distractions around us, anything we don't need. As we keep slowing down the breath, our inhales with our exhales. And before we find any movement, before we create that magic through our movement, we are going to give ourselves that important acknowledgement, that moment of gratitude to us for coming to the mat, the hardest thing to do. And we're also going to set ourselves an intention. Now remember, you can set your own intention, or you can follow me with my intention for the flow. Today's intention: I awaken. Before all together we inhale and we exhale. On your next breath, you're going to blink those eyes open, release the hands to the mat and roll all the way in to a tabletop position, just releasing that spine with a few cat-cow stretches before we come into our practice. We inhale to drop the chest and exhale to curve. Making your movements, releasing any stagnant energy going on within the body. And then the next time you go to round into the spine, which is you're going to tuck toes under, take the hip bones to the sky and begin to pedal out the legs. So bending into one knee, bending in to another, nodding the head yes, shaking it no, anything that feels good to you. Beautiful. Before we take our gaze to the top of the mat, take one big step, take a few little steps to bring yourself forwards. On your inhale, we bring fingertips to the mat or hands to the shins to gaze forwards. On your exhale, bend into the knees, roll the body to standing and bring the hands to prayer at heart center. So like I said, we're going to be bringing in the elements today in our practice. Now it's going to be a simple practice. So we're only really going to be working through our Surya Namaskars, so our sun salutations to bring in that fire. And then working through our Chandra Namaskar, our moon salutations to bring in that sense of water before we move on to some meditation to bring in the sense of air and the sense of earth. So we're going to take 10 rounds of each, both Surya Namaskar and Chandra Namaskar. So from here, activate your Tandasana, your mountain pose. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Tuck the tailbone under and bring the hands to prayer at heart center. Once more, repeating your intention out loud or quietly in your mind. I awaken. As we inhale and as we exhale. On your next breath, witches, we're going to sweep those arms up and overhead, start to find length through the fingertips. Exhale to bend the knees and forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward to create your length. On your exhale, plant the hands down, step back one leg, step back another, and we take our first vinyasa, so press off the toes, lower the body all the way down. Inhale, create length in upward facing dog. On your exhale, tuck the toes under, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Maybe you find movement in down dog. Maybe you find stillness, whatever feels good to you. But we hold here for 3 more breaths, in through the nose and out through the nose. as we inhale. On your exhale, take your gaze between the thumbs, maybe taking one big step or take a few little steps to bring yourself forwards. Inhale, gaze forward to create your length. Exhale, bend into the knees, bring the hands to prayer as you reach them up and overhead before bringing them back to heart center. Round one, ready for round two. Inhale, take the hands high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forwards. Exhale, plant the hands down, step back to plank and take your vinyasa. Press off the toes and lower all the way down. Inhale, create length. Exhale, meet me back in downward facing dog. Inhale. On your exhale, gaze between the thumbs. Take one big step, take a few little steps, bring yourself forwards. Inhale, gaze forward, witches. Exhale, bend the knees, hands come to prayer as we sweep them up and overhead. And then back to heart center. We keep going, let's find that heat. Round three. Inhale, take it high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forwards. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back one leg, step back another. Take a vinyasa. Inhale, create upward facing dog. Exhale, hip bones to the sky. Downward facing dog. Remember, at any point, you can drop those knees to a tabletop. You can skip out any vinyasas. This is your practice. Tune into how your energy is feeling today. Remember your intention. I awaken. When you're ready from here, gaze to the top of the mat, walking, stepping, jumping your way forwards. Inhale, gaze forward, create length. Exhale, bend the knees, roll the body to standing, arms roll up and overhead, and then bring them back to heart center. Round four, you've got it. Inhale, take the hands high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forwards. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back one leg, step back another, take a vinyasa. Inhale, create length. Exhale, meet me in downward facing dog, almost halfway through. Welcoming in that fire element, the element of power, of heat, of drive. Inhale. Exhale, gaze to the top of the mat, walking, stepping, jumping your way forwards. Inhale, create length. Exhale, bend the knees, roll the body to standing, hands flow up and overhead. And then we bring them back to heart center. Round five. Whew, embrace that heat. On your inhale, we sweep those arms up and overhead. Exhale, bend the knees, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forwards. Exhale, plant the hands down, step back, jump back, and take a vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. We're halfway through, witches. How are you feeling? Welcome in the elements, welcome in the energy of the Coven that's joined us together on the mat, an online community from around the world, embracing our witchcraft, embracing that wellness. Inhale. Exhale, gaze to the top of the mat, walking, stepping, jumping your way forwards. Inhale, create length. Exhale, bend the knees, take those arms up and overhead. And then back to heart center, round six. Inhale, take the hands high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, plans the mat, step back, jump back. And take your vinyasa. Inhale, Create that lovely length, connecting crown chakra to the heavens. And then exhale, bring the crown chakra to the earth, bowing low to the moon, to the sun. Tucking that last rib in, send the hip bone to the sky. We inhale. Exhale, gaze between the thumbs, walking, stepping, jumping our way forwards. Inhale, gaze forwards. Exhale, bend the knees, sweep those arms up and overhead to prayer. Bring them back to heart center. Give yourself a moment, thumbs against the heart, feeling your heartbeat. Remind yourself of your intention. I awaken. Ready for round 7. We inhale, take the hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forwards. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back, jump back, take a vinyasa. Inhale, create length. Exhale, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Remember, you can drop those knees at any point. But we hold this down dog for 3, for 2, and 1. Gaze to the top of the mat, walking, stepping, jumping your way forwards. Inhale, gaze forward, create length. Exhale, bend the knees, sweep those arms up and overhead. Bring the hands to heart center. Round 8, feeling that fire element, feeling awake now. We inhale, take the hands high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forwards. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back one leg, step back another. Take your vinyasa. Inhale, create upward facing dog. Exhale, hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. We've got 2 more rounds after this. You have got it. Drop those knees to tabletop if you want. Come to child's pose if you crave it. This is your practice. We hold for 2. And 1, gaze between the thumbs, walking, stepping, jumping your way forwards. Inhale, gaze forwards. Exhale, bend the knees, roll the body to standing, arms flow up and overhead. Bring them back to heart center. We keep going, round 9. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forwards. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back one leg, step back another, take a vinyasa. Inhale, we create length. Exhale, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. 1 more round. So when you're ready, gaze to the top of the mat, walking, stepping, jumping your way forwards. Inhale, gaze forwards. Exhale, bend into the knees, sweep those arms up and overhead. Bring the hands to heart center. Whew. Round 10. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forwards. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back one leg, step back another. Take your vinyasa. Inhale. Find upward facing dog. Exhale, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Before we gaze to the top of the mat, walking, stepping, jumping our way forwards. Inhale, gaze forwards. Exhale, bend the knees, roll the body to standing, arms flow up and overhead. And then bring the hands to heart center, rolling shoulders away from the ears, thumb against the sternum. Rooting down to the earth through the fingertips, rooting down to the earth through the toes, through the heels. Slowing down the breath. Feeling that heat, that fire element radiate through your body. Embrace those vibrations. Feeling gratitude to you for coming to the mat, gratitude to this online coven, and once more repeat your intention. I awaken. So we've welcomed in the heat with our Surya Namaskar. Now we're going to welcome in that kind of cooling, healing element, the element of water with our Chandra Namaskar. So our moon salutation, sorry. So we're going to take 10 rounds of these with a little variation that I put onto my moon salutations. But when you're ready, we inhale and we exhale. Keeping your hands in prayer, you're going to take them all the way up and overhead. First, create your length, and then we lean to the left-hand side. Move through center, lean over to the right-hand side. Move into the center, bring the hands to prayer, and from here, we're going to step back with that left foot, so step it back, bring it parallel with the back of the mat, and we pivot right foot to come parallel. So coming into our goddess pose, heels come in, open up those arms to the side, and sit lovely and low, giving yourself as much space as you like. Breathing deep into the belly, find your strength as we hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, on your 1, extend the legs, point the right toes back to the top of your mat, and we find our way to triangle pose. Right hand slides down right leg, pull the left arm all the way to the sky. Pulling the head back so you begin to open up that throat chakra. With control, we gaze down to the front foot, gently bend into the front knee, hands come back to prayer, and we're going to pivot in to pyramid pose. So pivot on that back heel, left toes point off to the left hand corner of our mat, square the hips with the top of the mat, extend the front leg, and come to pyramid pose. Maybe the hands rest on the legs, maybe they come to prayer. With control from prayer, we move into our Anjaneyasana, low lunge. So bend into the front knee, hand frame front foot, step back with the left leg, lower the knee down. Untuck the toes, hands come to prayer, and move into a gorgeous crescent lunge, bending lovely and deep into that front knee. Holding for 3, for 2, and 1. Hands come to frame front foot. You're going to tuck the back toes under to lift up. And what we're going to do is going to walk into crescent lunge towards the other side. So walk the hands through center, pivot on the feet, lower the right knee down, hands come to prayer as you sweep them up and overhead. Anjaneyasana, low lunge, but bend deep into the front knee, find your crescent lunge. Reverse the flow, hands come to frame left foot, tuck back toes under, and we step into our pyramid pose. So right toes come off to the right hand corners of our mat and forward fold here. Bend into that front knee as you lift the body up. Bring those arms into a gorgeous T shape, and this time we pivot on that back foot to come in to triangle pose. Bend into the front leg, lift the body up and find your way to goddess pose. Heels in, bend lovely and deep into the knees. Holding 3, hold 2, and 1. Hands come to prayer, lift the legs up and we step back to the top of the mat. Whew. Round 1. We've got 9 more rounds to go, so we're going to take it a little bit faster. So when you're ready, inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Exhale, lean to the left hand side. Move through center, lean to the right hand side. Move to the center, hands come to prayer, step back with the left leg and find your way to goddess pose. So feet come parallel, heels in and bend into the knees. Extend the legs, pivot right toes, face the top of the mat and come to Trikonasana pose. Gaze down to the front foot, gently lift the body a little bit and come to pyramid pose, squaring the hips with the top of the mat, left toes off to a 45-degree angle. Bend into the front knee, hands frame right foot and come to crescent lunge. So lower the back knee down, hands to prayer, sweep them up and overhead. Relax hands down to frame front foot, tuck left toes under, lift up and find your way to crescent lunge to the other side. So lower right knee down, bring the hands to prayer and sweep the arms up and overhead. Hands frame front foot witches, tuck right toes under and step in to your pyramid pose, squaring the hips with the top of the mat and forward fold over the left leg. Bend into that front knee, gently lift the body up as if you're going to come to warrior 2 and then find your way to your Trikonasana pose, allowing the left hand to slide down left leg. Inhale. Exhale, bend into that front knee, roll body up, meet me in goddess pose. Yes, sit lovely and low. Hands come back to prayer. Pivot right toes forward. And step all the way to the top of the mat. Yes. Let's keep going. Inhale, hands high. Lean to the left hand side. Move through center, lean to the right. Move back into the center, hands come to the heart. Step into goddess pose. Extend the legs, pivot the right toes to the top of the mat. Find your way to Trikonasana. Gaze down to the front foot and pivot your way to pyramid pose. Hands to the mat, step back to crescent lunge. Bring hands to prayer, sweep them up and overhead. Hands frame front foot, tuck left toes under, lift up, and we find crescent lunge to the other side. Lower right knee down. Inhale, pull the arms all the way to the sky. Hands to the mat, Coven. Find your way to pyramid pose. Lift the back leg up and forward fold, keeping the hips square to the top of the mat. Bend into the front leg, roll the body up and find your way to Trikonasana pose. Yes, bend into the front knee, lift the body up, come back to goddess pose. Bring the hands to prayer, right toes point forward, step back to the top of the mat. Oh, getting lost in this movement, recognizing now if the transitions are coming easier, bringing in that gorgeous water element, a little bit of that grounding element. When you're ready, we keep it going. Inhale, hands high, lean to the left hand side. Move through center, lean to the right. Bring the hands to prayer, heart center, step back to goddess pose, maybe going lower than you did before. Extend the legs, pivot right toes to the top of the mat, meet me in Trikonasana. Gaze down to the front foot, gently bend into the front knee, find your way to pyramid pose. Hands to the mat as we bend into the front knee, come to crescent lunge. Hands to the mat, tuck left toes under, find your way to crescent lunge to the other side, sweep the arms up and overhead. Hands to the mat, tuck back toes under, step into pyramid pose. Bend into the front knee, wiggle the body up, take your adjustments, come to Trikonasana pose. Bend into the front knee, we come to goddess. Beautiful movements, you've got it. We're halfway through. Hands to prayer, heart center, step back to the top of your mat. Ooh, halfway through round 5. Inhale, hands to the sky, lean to the left hand side. Move through center, lean to the right. Move into the center, hands to prayer, step back to goddess pose. Extend the legs, Trikonasana to the right hand side. Gaze down to the front foot, come to pyramid pose. Hands to the mat, crescent lunge. Hands frame, front foot, tuck back toes under. We take crescent lunge to the other side. Beautiful transition. Bend into the front knee, hands up and overhead. Hands come to frame, front foot, lift to your pyramid pose. Make your adjustments. Remembering you can skip out any of the Chandra Namaskar rounds as you like. Bend into the front knee, roll the body up and find your way in to Trikonasana to the left hand side. Bend into the front knee, goddess pose. Yes, to this transition, which is sit lovely and low, holding for 3. We hold for 2. 1, hands to heart center, step to the top of the mat. Yes. When you're ready, we keep going around 6. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, lean to the left hand side. Move through center, lean to the right. Move through center, hands to the heart, step back to goddess pose. Extend the legs, Trikonasana to the right hand side. Gaze down to the front foot, transition to pyramid pose, right toes pointing forward. Hands to the mat, crescent lunge. Repeat your intention, I awaken. Hands to the mat, tuck back toes under, meet me in crescent lunge to the left hand side. Hands to the mat, pyramid pose, left hand side. Lift the body up. Trikonasana, left hand side. Bend into the front knee. Meet me in Goddess. Hands to prayer witches, step back to the top of your mats. Feeling a sense of peace come over you, can still feel that heat on the body, but we're connecting with the moon. Oh, especially if you are a lunar witch, this might be the flow for you. I could do Chandra Namaskar for hours just getting lost in it. But we move on, round 7. Step back, Goddess pose. Trikonasana to the right hand side. Pyramid pose, right hand side. Lower down to crescent lunge. Hands to the mat. Find crescent lunge to the left hand side. Pyramid pose, left hand side. Lift gently the body up, Trikonasana to the left hand side. Bend into the front knee, Goddess pose, beautiful Coven. Hands to the heart, step back to the top of the mat. Give yourself a moment as you move straight away into round 8. Step back to Goddess pose. Trikonasana, right hand side. Pyramid pose, right hand side. Maybe the transition's coming a little bit easier as we step back to crescent lunge. Hands to the mat, find crescent lunge to the left hand side. Hands to the mat, pyramid pose, left hand side. Roll the body up, Trikonasana pose to the left hand side. Lift up, Goddess pose. Yes, you've got it. Hands to the heart, step to the top of the mat. Oh, round 9, we've got it. Step back to Goddess pose. Trikonasana, right hand side. Pyramid pose, right hand side. Yes, witches, you've got it. Skip out any transition that doesn't feel good. Crescent lunge, right hand side. Hands to the mat, crescent lunge, left hand side. Hands to the mat, pyramid pose, left hand side. Yes, you've got it. Embrace the wobbles. I awaken. Trikonasana, left hand side. Lift up, Goddess pose. One more round after this before we welcome in the air element. We welcome in the earth element. Hands to heart center, step to the top of our mat. Ooh. Final round, Coven, if you're still with me. Final round. Step back to Goddess pose. This time, sit a centimetre lower than you did before. Trikonasana pose, right hand side. Pyramid pose, right hand side. Crescent lunge. Hands to heart center, crescent lunge, left hand side. Hands to the mat, pyramid pose, left hand side. Trikonasana, left hand side. For the final time, roll the body up, Goddess pose, sit lovely and low. Hands to heart center, step to the top of the mat. Thumbs against the sternum, tuning into your breath. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose. And to close the movement portion of our practice, we're going to bend the knees, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, plant the hands down, step back one leg, step back another. Final vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. Stretch out the neck by gazing back to one foot. Move through center, gaze back to the other. Move into the center, bend the knees, cross the ankles behind you, and come in to a comfortable seated position. Rolling shoulders away from the ears, relax the hands into the lap, palms flipped up towards the sky. Feeling that heat in the body, feeling that space, that sense of peace that you have created. Now connecting with the final elements, air and earth, we're going to work through alternative nostril breathing, Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, to cleanse the energy channels and to really help the intention of awakening us. So first, get yourself into a comfortable seated position, creating a long line of energy from the base of the spine to the top of the neck. Taking a few deep inhales in through the nose and out through the nose. When you're ready from here, with your dominant hand, which is you're going to bring the 3 fingers in, so the pinky and the thumb point out. Taking it towards the face, we inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Cover the right nostril and inhale left. Cover left, exhale right. Inhale right. Cover right and exhale left. Inhale left. Cover left and exhale right. Inhale right. Cover right and exhale left. Inhale left. Cover left and exhale right. Inhale right. Before we cover right and exhale left. Relaxing your hand down. Give yourself a moment. And from here, we're going to take one more round. With the dominant hand, bring the 3 fingers in, pointy, the middle finger and thumb point out as we cover the right nostril and inhale left. Cover left, exhale right. Cover right, inhale right. Cover right and we exhale left. Inhale left. Cover left and exhale right. Inhale right. Cover right, and we exhale left. Inhale left. Cover left, exhale right. Final time, we inhale right. Cover right and exhale left. Relaxing the right hand down. Taking a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Feeling reset, restored, rebalanced, and most importantly, feeling awake. Awake in your spiritual practice with yoga, with witchcraft, awake in yourself, your beliefs, your boundaries. And in this moment, feeling so damn magical, feeling that power in your palms, ready to take on the world, conquer the world, to attract everything that you desire, everything that you deserve. And to close this practice, seal this energy, I'm going to do a kind of card pull for the coven. So, keeping your breath slow and steady, reminding yourself of the intention to awaken, as we ask the universe to show us the path ahead for this little one card pull to seal our yoga for Witch's Magic. Beautiful. And for today's card, new moon in Capricorn, step up and lead. Capricorns are strong people, and that's exactly what we want today with the awakening of the witch within. Step up and lead. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to have followers behind you. This just means that you walk down your path with confidence. You walk down your path with your eyes open, seeing the world around you, the world above you, the world below you, and feeling really rebalanced and balanced with all the energies around you. To the idea of leading is a really beautiful thing, and especially if you've come to the mat today unsure about your witchcraft practice, maybe unsure about your yoga journey, this is the universe telling you that this is your time to step up, to reclaim the flame, to reclaim your power and lead yourself into a beautiful and bright future. Thanking you so much for joining me today, Coven, to wake the witch within, to flow with this yoga for witches practice. I really hope you enjoyed working through Surya Namaskar, working through Chandra Namaskar, and just dedicating a little bit of time to you and to your well-being. As I said, this is a little flow that I put out there. One is a thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my channel. You have truly made my little yogi and witch dreams come true with this channel. So thanking you so much. And it is also as a celebration of the launch of my brand new yoga platform. So this is a private area on my website, www.theyogiwitch.com, where we come together with 4 one-hour flows a month. We come together to connect from around the world, speaking about our magical practice, speaking about spells and all things wellness. So you can find out more about the COVEN in the description box below, and I also have a little video over on my YouTube channel about the COVEN with a little glimpse at what the website will look like. But thanking you so much for joining me today and for allowing me to guide you through today's practice, and hoping the rest of your day is filled with health, it is filled with happiness, and it is filled with power. From the bottom of my heart, Coven, blessed be.